Video games are often epic tales about heroes fighting against the bad guys and saving the day. Some video games like to blur those lines, and others just outright let you play as the villain. A lot of RPG video games give you the chance to be evil and make terrible decisions. Other video games tell the story from the perspective of a villain or a bad guy. If you're looking for a video game that can give you the chance to play on the other side of the moral compass for once, here are 10 video games that let you do just that. Before we get into this video, however, don't forget to subscribe with notifications set to all so you never miss a single upload. Without a further ado, let's get into the list. At number 10, we have Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus is an action-adventure video game that was published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Shadow of the Colossus allows players to fight against massive beasts called colossi that roam the planet. You have to seek out the beasts and fight them with only a sword and a bow. It also has a bit of a philosophical message behind it. Technically, you are the villain and the big bad guy of Shadow of the Colossus. However, it's really up for debate, as it all depends on your perspective. Still, if we were to look at it from this lens, you get to play as the villain in Shadow of the Colossus. At number 9, we've got Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic is an action RPG Star Wars game that lets you play as a character you design. Since you play as your own choice in Knights of the Old Republic, you can choose to play more towards the Sith side. If you even know a little bit about Star Wars, you'll know that the Sith are really the major villains of the Star Wars galaxy, and they tap into the dark side of the Force. So if you tap more into the dark side, you can technically be a villain. At number 8, we have the Saints Row franchise. Saints Row is one of the most chaotic, crazy, and insane video game franchises out there. Since it's a game where your actions are defined by your decisions, you can play as the biggest, most awful, monstrous villain out there. It's got a unique standpoint to it where the game makes it pretty easy for you to play as a villain. So if you're looking for a bit of a laugh alongside chaos, Saints Row is perfect for you. At number 7, we have Mafia Definitive Edition. Mafia Definitive Edition is the remastered version of the original Mafia game. In Mafia, you play as Tommy Angelo and follow him through his work with the Salieri family. Technically, since mafias are literal crime gangs that commit murders, robberies, and other unethical and illegal things, you're really a villain the entire time. Sure, you can consider yourself the hero of the story, but if we're being literal, you're a bad guy in the eyes of the law. At number 6, we've got Spec Ops: The Line. Spec Ops: The Line is considered one of the most thought-provoking war games out there. Where Call of Duty and other military shooters often place you in the position of a hero that saves the day from danger, Spec Ops: The Line does the opposite. Its lack of any stops in portraying war crimes and the horrors of war makes it a very interesting title. Since Spec Ops: The Line talks about morality and its relation to warfare, you're actually the villain of the story the entire time. It's one of the rare few military games that lets you do so. At number 5, we've got Prototype. Prototype stars Alex Mercer, a shapeshifter who tries to stop an outbreak of a virus called Black Light in Manhattan. Throughout the game, you face off against the military and a group called Blackwatch. Prototype gives you the chance to technically be a good guy, but you're really just going to end up killing innocent people no matter how hard you try. Since Alex Mercer doesn't seem to really care about the innocents too much, he's like an anti-hero of sorts. So technically, you're the villain at the end of the day. At number 4, we've got Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed features a character who's very powerful named Starkiller. He was trained under the wing of Darth Vader himself. Considering that Starkiller was trained by the Sith, he's a villain, cut and through. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed is interesting since you're a Force wielder that isn't a Jedi like most Star Wars games pitch. It makes for a more unique twist to the franchise. Unfortunately though, Starkiller is not canon to the Star Wars universe. At number 3, we've got Grand Theft Auto 5. Need I explain this one? I'm just kidding, but yes, Grand Theft Auto 5 does let you play as a villain. It's one of those games where you can play as the villain and you should play as the villain. Both the campaign and the online multiplayer make you go through some pretty crazy stuff. The entire premise of GTA 5 is to commit criminal actions and deal in things like drugs and weapons. It's pretty much the game of villains. At number 2, we've got Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is great because you can play as so many villains from across the universe of horror movies and more. You can play as Ghostface from Scream, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and more. You either play as a survivor where you obviously have to survive, or you can play as a killer, which is basically when your objective is to kill all of the survivors. Since the game features genuine villains and the ability to play them, it's one of the best video games at letting you play as the villain. At number 1, we've got Plague Inc. Plague Inc. is a game where your entire objective is to infect and kill off the entire planet. That's it, that's the game. You have a disease type that you need to spread and then destroy the planet with. If that's not villainous behavior, what is? Plague Inc. is like the ultimate villain simulator, and it's a lot of fun because you have to have a strategy each time. Plague Inc. is also one of the few games on this list to have a mobile version that's equally as fun to play. And that wraps up the video. Thanks for tuning in to DZSH Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe with notifications set to all. Let us know which of these video games is your favorite and why. Check out our website for gaming news, entertainment, and more. The links to everything are in the description below.